Good morning, viewers. I don't know. I was watching NBC News, and I saw Donald Trump talking about the American student that was released, the Chinese American student, I believe from Princeton, and he said the magic word, and that word is hostage. He said it was a hostage swap. Does that word mean anything to you? And what does it mean to you? Well, to me it means that we're taking hostages, not prisoners. We didn't arrest that man. We were holding him hostage. In other words, we were holding... you'll see his name in a second here because I don't... Off the top of my head, I can't tell you what it is. Because I had no idea that this ever even existed. I mean, I knew that they were holding... There's a bunch of people from around the world that Iran just snatches up. And, well, I mean, technically, we believe what they believe is petty and unnecessary. However, you can't say that to Iran because they think they're right. And so here's what... This is not the video, and neither is this one. That Donald Trump...
And the United States have suddenly announced a prisoner swap for two men who were released on Saturday. The US released Iranian stem cell expert Masoud Soleimani in exchange for the liberation of Shi Ye Wang, a Chinese American detained in Iran for 3 years on espionage charges. On Twitter, Iran's Foreign Minister Javad Zarif uploaded a picture of him and Soleimani aboard a plane allegedly flying back to Iran. Soleimani was arrested at Chicago Airport in October 2018 for allegedly attempting to export biological materials to Iran, violating US sanctions on the country over its nuclear program. Shi Ye Wang, meanwhile, is a Princeton University graduate who is said to have been conducting dissertation research in Iran in 2016 when he was detained. He was accused of spying under the cover of research, an allegation both his family and the university deny.
All right. I was under the impression that the United States didn't take hostages. I was under the impression that we were a democratic country that doesn't hold its own citizens hostage. Talking about the facial recognition technology that is now in place, that there's a video that I posted about of the robot and giant literally coming up to me. It followed me for 2 lanes through 2 aisles. I'm not talking about stopping. It stopped. I mentioned it and I told it to get away from me a couple times, and I said out loud that I might tackle it or push it out of the way or something like that if it keeps following me around. Obviously, I set off some kind of alarm because if it's on the video, I don't know, but the yellow lights, and one of the technicians went over and yellow lights started blinking. I don't know what that is. All I do know is that they followed us. It followed us through those couple aisles, then went right up to us. Like it was some kind of a police officer. Went right up to us and took our pictures and then sent that information to the store where the cameras began following us and watching our every move. When we checked out of the store, we had nothing dog related. Nothing dog related, but Sephra had brought up some bones, some chewy bones. And we did not scan them. We just put them, I put them in the bag over there and asked her to take them back. We were in the dog food aisle. So what pops up? A dog food coupon, which may mean nothing. But that robot unfortunately, that's just the physical representation of the programming that is available and being used against us right now. I am telling you that these things are everywhere. This is just the one that we see. Okay, yes, it is running around scanning barcodes, but it's also the greatest. It is a very useful tool in keeping prices down, stopping retail theft, but it's not going to stop retail theft, but it would help identify people who are stealing. It would it knew exactly who I was. It ran believe me, that thing ran facial recognition software and knew in a minute who I was and sent that information to the system, and those cameras specifically began following us around. I was victimized in that store. Okay? They do not have the right to do those things to us. But it's happening. It's been happening for years as the police drive down the street with warrant identification software. And I've seen for years them, yes, for years, the black car. I'm not going to say the name of it because I don't want to get harassed. But the black car and 4 or 5 sheriffs jumping out and grabbing somebody on Penn Street. I've seen it personally, maybe 3-4 times. I saw it happen. Okay? These guys are not playing. You guys that know me are, some of you may, I don't know what you think about me, and really I don't care. Really, that's not my concern. I'm not worried about your opinions. It does sometimes make me feel a little bad. Watch this little girl go with this bone. Look what she's doing now, man. She's not playing on that thing. You ought to hear her when she gets going. She starts growling at it like it's its enemy. Like that bone did something to her. Get it, girl. Get it. Get that. Get the bone. Get the bone. This dog is kind of great, though. I mean, she stinks real bad. But she hasn't barked once. Which is fine with me. She's taking the chewing the pads, though. She wasn't. But, I don't know. She's very chill for a puppy. Very, very chill. And, she's in here because we're waiting to go outside. I feed her, give her water, and then she comes in just naturally. It's her den. You know, dogs naturally want their own little place here. This is hers, and she's happy in there. She goes in there by herself. I wait until she starts whining, and then we go. And she goes to the bathroom, and I'm so happy that she's not going in the house that, well, she gets praise. Not godly praise, but, you know, good girl. Soon. And the problem with all of these, at first I thought it was kind of funny that they were busting Donald Trump and they're busting the Stones, and look, it's not funny. You realize that? It's not funny. We are the laughing stock of the world right now, man. Didn't you see how they were mocking him? Look, regardless of put all of his all the stupidity aside, you can't, even if he saved the whole world, it does not outweigh the bad for the good. But I could forgive him. I could forgive him. If you're telling me that the man's a Christian, then you're not a Christian. That's plain and simple. You say you're a Christian, you may believe you're a Christian, but you're not. Do you know why? Watch the videos, because I'm not going through all this again. I would love to be able to edit all this together and put it in one little quick shot so you can make sense of all this, because God knows I can't. But my thing, my problem with all the, the good erases the bad, it doesn't. Obviously, the media, it goes back to Obama. Anybody knows anything about Barack Obama? He was a drug dealer. He was using drugs. The man wrote a book about it. That was the wisest thing to do. But did the media attack him on it? I've heard about it one time. About when he shot up cocaine and he was selling cocaine. How many of our presidents can say that and get away with it? They were ready to crucify Bill Clinton and George Bush for smoking weed, man. For admitting to smoking weed. But we elected Barack Obama because he was black. Okay? It had nothing. The politics of the whole situation were zilch. But personally, look, it doesn't matter. It does not matter who we elect to office and who is elected next. They are a puppet. They are the front man on the stage, and that's it. There is a bone mic in their ear, and they're doing what they're told. So, our president doesn't control our country, as you well know.
More than just flowers.
Or if you don't know it, you better find out.
Republican Congressman Chris Smith, he is of course from
Prisoner swap.
He represents a neighboring county where this student lives. Congressman,
Personally,
good to have you in. What's your reaction? You know this family. Talk about the joy they must be feeling right before.
Personally, I think this is starting a very bad precedent, man. We don't negotiate with terrorists. Remember? Do you remember that? Because I do. And there's a reason for this. This is going to start an onslaught, a slew of hostage takers. Let's see what that is down there. Oh, go back.
The Pentagon is considering a plan to add up to 7,000 additional U.S. forces to the Middle East to counter what it sees as an increasing threat from Iran. That is according to two U.S. defense officials. I will ask the National Security Advisor about that in just a bit. But the Pentagon's top policy advisor says the defense secretary has not officially made any decision. Tonight, the State Department is putting a very large number on the total of Iranian civilians killed in massive demonstrations there over that hike in gasoline prices. We're learning about U.S. seizure also of missile parts allegedly being smuggled to Yemeni rebels. Correspondent Trey Yanks reports on Iran tonight from Lisbon, Portugal.
Overnight, the U.S. Navy reported seizing a cache of Iranian missile parts set to be delivered to rebels in Yemen. The operation highlighted the Western efforts to counter Iranian threats against American allies in the region, as Israel and the U.S. work towards a joint defense agreement.
Guess what's going to happen?
Netanyahu traveled to Portugal Wednesday to meet with U.S. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo to discuss rising tensions with Iran.
We're seeing the Iranian empire totter, and I think it's important to increase this pressure against Iranian aggression.
Despite the Trump administration working to disengage from the Middle East, the relationship between the Americans and Israelis remains strong. This week, President Trump, Secretary Pompeo, and Prime Minister Netanyahu all reaffirmed their support of anti-government protesters in Iran, Iraq, and Lebanon. The State Department suggested today that more than 1,000 people have...
So, that's none of our business, right? Wrong. Israel is and should be protected by the United States. They are basically the only democracy there. I'm not saying their democracy is working. I'm just saying that it's there. Okay? Now, I'm going on a walk for the puppy. So, I'm going to leave you with this. That there are already 30,000 troops in Yemen and Saudi Arabia. We sent billions. of dollars worth of missile defense systems and blah, blah, blah over there, because who knows? They tell us one thing and then we find out something else. But you better believe, don't think for 1 second that Israel does not, they're just itching. They're itching. They're waiting for us to give them the nod or the go ahead. Iran is acting just as foolish as they possibly could be, because they're doing exactly what our administration wants them to do, which is what they're doing. Donald Trump would pretty much, I'm not saying it would erase all the stuff that's going on, but it certainly would take the eye off it, wouldn't it? If there was that war between the United Arab Emirates, Saudi Arabia, whatever, and the United States and Iran. That is, look, if you don't believe me, look up the Gog and Magog war. Look it up. See historically the nations that are mentioned in the Gog and Magog war, and you're going to find out it's going to give you a little bit of tingle. You're not going to like it, because quite frankly, it looks very strongly like China, Iran, and Russia, and a few little. Hello. Wow. I don't know, man. I've been getting some messages from some beautiful women. Ladies, I would love to talk to you, Christian ladies that are writing me. I would really love to speak to you, but I'm not paying Zeus any money. So contact me through my email. Anyway. So please, pray for Iran. Pray for the people of Iran. Pray for Israel, which we're commanded in the scriptures to do anyway. God bless you.